Hello, this is Mrs. Brown and part 2 of the distributive property. So we're going to be looking at some more examples. To distribute means you're kind of passing out to everybody. Like if you, for instance, are in class and the teacher asked you to distribute, papers to the other students, that means hand one to every person. You can kind of think of that as related to the distributive property. When you distribute, you're kind of giving or putting that A with each of the things that's inside. Okay. So let's take a look at some examples of that. Okay. So if I have this expression, to write an equivalent expression using the distributive property, because remember, I could use the commutative property to write an equivalent expression, but in order to use the distributive property, I am going to multiply that 3, because this means 3 times this sum. I can do that as 3, add first, and then multiply, because these are inside the grouping symbols, or I can rewrite that as 3 times 9 plus 3 times 5. And that would be the distributive property. This is going to come out to equivalent expressions, okay? In this case, you have 27 plus 15. When you add those together, you get 42. This is 14 times 3, which is also 42. They're equivalent because they come out to be the same value, okay? So let's take a look at some more examples. Okay. If I have something like 3 times 2x plus 7 in parentheses, an equivalent expression using the distributive property, I can distribute the 3. I guess I'm using 3 today, huh? 3 times 2x plus 3 times 7. It equals the same amount as the original one because I'm just distributing the 3. Instead of adding first and then multiplying, I'm multiplying both of them and then adding. And I'm allowed to do that. And so that simplifies to 6x plus 21. Okay? Let's take a look at one more example. You notice that one of my models has subtraction in it. Okay? That's because there is distributive property with subtraction. Most of the properties that we use don't have anything to do with subtraction, but for the distributive property, there is a case, so let's take a look at that. Okay. If I have a difference inside the parentheses and I'm timesing the outside, I can use the distributive property as well. It's the same rule. The number on the outside, you multiply by both numbers on the inside. So 5 times x minus 5 times 2. Well, I can leave it like that, or I can simplify so that it's 5x minus 10, okay? Again, same process with your distributing to rewrite, okay? You may see some in reverse, meaning that you see this part and you're expected to write this part. So if I see something like, for instance, 5 times 7 plus 7 times 9, well, when you're looking at that, what number is common to both products? 7 is in this product, 7 here in that multiplication problem. So that means that you can pull that 7 out. Okay. So when you look at that, that would be in reverse. You'd look for what was in common. You'd remove that and keep whatever's left. So let's look at one more example like that. Okay. If I have something like x times y minus 2 times y, well, what is in common in both of those? You've got a y in this term and a y in this term. So that means I can pull the y out because this is multiplication and this is multiplication. And I can have the 2 minus x inside instead. Okay? So I hope this helps you start to get comfortable with the distributive property. I will be doing another one specifically looking at how to distribute with negatives. Okay?